Gamer Braves. What's up, guys? This is Juan from Game Braves, and we did it. We played Street Fighter 6. Listen, as the only guy in this office who likes fighting games enough to make it a part of his personality, it is very, very difficult when one of your favorite genres of game doesn't get that many releases. I mean, this year was weird. We got a lot of releases, but I don't think these 5 fighting games a year is a sustainable model. But thanks to Capcom, we got to try out the beta for Street Fighter 6. Are fighting games saved? I mean, I think they're in a pretty good place right now, and Street Fighter 6 is pretty much proof that for as good as fighting games are right now, they can also be a lot better. Because this is definitely one of my favorite fighting game betas so far. I mean, think about it, right? If you are a loyal viewer of the channel, you probably saw my DNF duel video where I basically whined about no training mode or anything for the game, making me feel like I didn't want to play it because I didn't know how to get better at my character. And Street Fighter 6 was like, yo, here's a training mode. In fact, here's a great training mode. Here is a bar to show you the breakdown of your moves, where's the startup, where's the active, where's the recovery. They even have like a little thing just to show you like what's the cancel window, for example. Like, these are all really, really great tools for someone who wants to get better at the game. And you mix that with the stuff they already announced, like, you know, the modern controls and the commentary to basically coach you through a game. These are all really, really great features. I honestly think that this should be the gold standard for all fighting games in future. I'm also told the game has like amazing accessibility options. Because I live in a place of privilege, I didn't think the need to check it out, but it's good to know that people more considerate than me have. And yeah, it's even got like sound cues for if you're visually impaired. Basically, get ready to get owned by the visually impaired kid at your next locals once Street Fighter 6 comes out. You love to see it. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't pick on them. Your only choice is to run it back. Deal with it. And on top of all the bells and whistles, Street Fighter 6 itself is good. Like, I haven't felt this good about a fighting game since the Strive betas. And I really, really love those too. So basically, the drive system is probably one of the most clever systems I've seen in a fighting game. You have this little green bar under your health, and every time you get hit, it goes down a bit, and when you hit, you steal some from your opponent. Simple enough. So okay, it's a block meter. Once you break it, you get guard broken. Oh, boo-hoo. But you can also spend your own drive meter to do more offensive stuff. And I mean like fighting game offensive stuff. I don't mean whatever your favorite streamer or Prime Minister of Canada has been accused of this time. So the most common one you'll see is the drive impact. In fact, you probably scrolled through Twitter and saw lots and lots of opinions about the drive impact. It's basically a very cheap, very powerful move because it has armor. It can absorb hits and get you through, and worst part is if you do it on someone in the corner, it guard breaks them and it wall splats them, letting you set up anything else. And if you're out of drive, which is a state called burnout, just like my regular life, then it becomes even worse because you will be open for a long time. Get ready to eat like all your opponent's nonsense, basically. To me, drive impact is the noob killer, because in the beginner portions of the game, like in the lower level matches, drive impact is going to make or break games. You're going to have all these players complain like, oh, you know, my opponent just drive impacted me when I was trying to do my Oki, and now I've lost the round. But once you climb up a bit into the slightly above zero level, you're like, ha, my opponent's gonna drive impact once they wake up because they're an animal. Then you grab them and you steal their soul. Now, of course, once that happens, then you get to the next level of Yomi where I know I'm going to drive impact. So then you tech the throw or whatever. But that's the joy of fighting games. That's literally what it is. It's, haha, my opponent is a savage. I know what they're going to do. And then, oh no, they know I know what they're going to do. And then, ba 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 ba. And next thing you know, you sell it to Shonen Jump and it becomes a manga called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And Drive Impact is far from the only mechanic. You have EX moves. You have parries. The parry is good. I literally played Third Strike after playing Street Fighter 6, and the thing about the parry in Third Strike is it is so high risk because you cannot block while parrying that you don't want to use it. I have never intentionally parried in my life. The only times I parry is because Q's rush punch is just a forward motion and it just so happens to parry a hit, and I go, yeah, that's about right. Parry basically works like faultless defense in Guilty Gear. You can get it at the right time, you get a perfect parry, you get a nice little slowdown and everything, or you can just hold it. You can just hold it, it will consume drive, but you're safe. It's the slightly less offensive thing you can do to your opponent if they're constantly matching drive impact, because you can parry it, in which case you're now left staring at each other awkwardly as if you just bumped into each other at the urinal. And then on the high end level, there's stuff like the drive rush. It's like a dash cancel. You've probably seen a lot of clips of people doing it. It's so advanced tech that I can't do it because you need to know which of your moves are special cancelable, because those are the ones that you can use it with. And it's kind of what the joy of Street Fighter 6 is. It is just this whole you play to your strength level. I kind of wish the beta had done a better job of matching people to that skill level though, because I played all day on Saturday afternoon, and let me tell you, by 10 PM, the killers are out. Like, I went from, haha, we're both learning this, to, oh no, this Kimberly knows tick throws. This Kimberly can mess me up. I am going to die now. Goodbye. I gotta say though, the character selection for the beta was probably the weakest part of it, because we just got out of TGS, where Ken was announced, by the way, and Ken is part of this beta. But unfortunately they didn't realize, I think, that they also announced Dhalsim, Blanca and Honda, because neither of them are in the game, which is sad because Blanca looks really fun. He's got all the setup stuff. We now have Blanca Rage, and then on top of all that, we have no grappler in this beta. It feels weird to not have, all the important archetypes there, because I want to see what happens if you can dash cancel into SPD, for example. But Street Fighter 6 is really, really good, and guess what? It has to be. It's Street Fighter. Like, I don't think you can understate how much the launch issues for Street Fighter 5 continue to plague it. Like, I know that Street Fighter 5 is in a good place, and yet I still hear the complaints about what that game was like at launch, and sometimes I'm like, do I really want to check out Street Fighter? Also, it did the most important thing ever. It fixed Luke. Luke no longer looks like a douche nozzle. Now he looks more like a douche faucet, which is, slightly better. But the way he wriggles his toes is gross. I'm sorry, Jury fans, I don't see it. I cannot be attracted to this man's feet or his giant bulging Popeye arms. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, as always, we're trying out this new format because I don't feel too great about being on camera. So let us know if you like this kind of like more laid-back style for our previews. And as always, this has been Watermelon from Game Braves. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.
That was a real intense fight.
Hey there! Thank you so much for watching our videos. Don't forget to give us a subscribe if you'd like to see more, and like so we know what kind of content you want to see. Got suggestions for new content? Let us know in the comments below too. Thank you so much again for watching. Take care, dudes.